So I'm going to share it with you. Let's get started, okay? Let's get started. Okay, I'll tell you what. My style is to, see, I don't want this just to be, I don't know, entertaining or just engaging or even, you know, a great term would be unforgettable. I don't even want to stop there because what I'm going to share with you, I really believe is life-changing. And so I want it to be sustainable. Okay? So I want you to remember it, and ways that I'm going to try and help you remember it is we might do some activities, we might, play some games, I'll ask for some volunteers. Totally up to you if you want to do that. That's how I know to help make it engaging and help you remember it and retain it. But I also want to help you today sustain it. All right? And I'm going to cover that at the end because it's not good to just come in, be inspired. Somebody introduced me this week as a motivational speaker. Hopefully it motivates, but that's not what my intention is. I want to be a transformational agent, a partner with you in this. All right? And for what we've been doing over the last 3 years is we've developed ways to help sustain it as well. Okay. So, let me tell you what they don't have in common. I'll start there. All right? Because these were some of the things that surprised me. Some of it didn't surprise me. For example, happiness and success has nothing to do with gender. Right? We knew that. It has nothing to do with geography, where you live in the world. So, that's cool. It has nothing to do with whether you come from a loving home or a broken home. Interesting. That was interesting to me. I thought it might play more of a role. It doesn't. It has nothing to do with whether your family comes from money or they're impoverished or anywhere in between. Interesting. Nothing to do with that. This one gave me the double take, but it has nothing to do with how far you go in school. And it has nothing to do with your skill sets that you acquire along your life's journey. All of those things that I just mentioned, we deem as surface attributes. They're there, maybe a couple little bits here or there, but not enough. So, what do happy and successful people have in common? It's how they think. And in particular, their mindset. And what we have labeled the 7 mindsets. 7 mindsets. So we've identified 7 mindsets. Now, it's the rare person who's actively living all 7 mindsets at the same time. Many of the people we studied did acquire all 7 mindsets at different times in their life, but we also found that you could live what we call your ultimate life, meaning you say that you're living, that you're happy and you're successful by your own definition. We found that if people were implementing 3 or 4 of the 7 mindsets, they had basically the same high level of happiness and success. Good news. So today I'm not gonna get into details on all 7 because we don't have the time for that. All right. But I am going to go into details on some of the key ones that I believe if you implement immediately, you will start to feel differently from a happiness perspective, and I believe it will also jettison you into a new level of success. All right? So, there was one shocking discovery, though. There was one shocking part of the research. And that is that the vast majority of people in the world are not living the 7 mindsets. And in actuality, they're thinking and acting in direct opposition to them. Think about what I just said. The vast majority of the people are actually thinking and acting in the exact opposite way of the happiest, most successful people on the planet. So just stopping there for a moment, at least I knew why everyone wants it and people are not getting it. We went a little further, and I'm going to show you now, because I think if I share this with you, you'll be able to identify it in your own life. First, let me show you a quick video. This video is going to demonstrate the power of opposite thinking. The power of opposite thinking.
So in 30 years, I will tell my children they are not the most important thing in my life. My employer will know that I have my priorities straight because work is more important than family. I tell you this, once upon a time families stayed together, but this will not be true in my era. This is a quick fix society. Experts tell me 30 years from now I will be celebrating the 10th anniversary of my divorce. I do not concede that I will live in a country of my own making. In the future, environmental destruction will be the norm. No longer can it be said that my peers and I care about this earth. It will be evident that my generation is apathetic and lethargic. It is foolish to presume that there is hope. And all of this will come true unless we choose to reverse it. There is hope. It is foolish to presume that my generation is apathetic and lethargic. It will be evident that my peers and I care about this earth. No longer can it be said that environmental destruction will be the norm. In the future, I will live in a country of my own making. I do not foresee that 30 years from now I will be celebrating the 10th anniversary of my divorce. Experts tell me this is a quick fix society, but this will not be true in my era. Families stay together once upon a time. I tell you this, family is more important than work. I have my priorities straight because my employer will know that they are not the most important thing in my life. So in 30 years, I will tell my children, money will make me happy is a lie, and true happiness comes from within. I realise this may be a shock, but I can't change the world, and I refuse to believe I'm part of the lost generation.
Ooh, what do you think of that?
Amazing.
You're so reserved. I know you just want to break out in applause, but it's okay. Because I could feel it on the inside as you were checking it out. That's the power of opposite thinking. It's the power of opposite thinking. Now let me show you the damage of opposite thinking, okay? How many of you remember the last time you got a virus, a physical virus? Do you remember, remember the person who gave it to you, or no? All right. Do you know if you passed it on to anybody else? Sometimes it happens. Like you're like, like in my house, one of my kids comes home from school, and I say, "Hey, how you doing?" And they cough in my face. Not intentionally. Well, the older one. But then the next day I'm sick, and I'm like, "It was you," right? And then usually when my wife gets sick, she says, "You gave it to me," right? So sometimes you know, but most of the time we don't. How about this? You remember the last time you got a computer virus? Anybody get a computer virus? Yeah, ooh, sorry, right? Did you ever have this experience where you get the computer virus and then you're not doing anything, but the virus sends the virus to other people in your contact list? Has that ever happened to you? Yeah, it's awful, right? Your friends call you, "What are you doing?" "Why'd you invite me to that party and all of a sudden my computer's busted," right? Yeah, that's not good. Here's the deal. A virus wakes up every single day with a simple to-do list. All right? 3 things virus wants to do every single day. Number 1, wants to find a host. Wants to get inside the host. Once the virus gets inside the host, second thing it wants to do is take over, spread, infiltrate every corner of the host. Right? Third thing it wants to do is jump and get into another host. And then it starts over. That's it. That's all a virus does. Every single day. All day long. Scientists have discovered another type of virus that we have been unaware of. They call it a virus of the mind. A virus of the mind. Now there's a technical term for it as well. It's called a meme. M-E-M-E. Let me give you an example. A meme is basically a thought that comes into your mind from somebody else. You pick it up somewhere, comes into your mind. It takes over, right? And by taking over, when a thought takes over, it affects how you act, how you feel. But it's only a meme if you also start to share it with others. You pass it along to others. Now, I can do a really quick test, because they probably don't test for memes here in the UK. They don't test in the US either. But I can do a really quick test, okay? And see if anybody is infected.